how we imprint thoughts into our mind, how we imprint content into our mind. Because if we can figure out how it works, imprinting them into our head, then we can figure out how to remove them. We can start to figure out what things we want in our mind. Figure out how to prevent certain things from coming into our head. We know how things are getting into our mind and how they're staying. We're going to dive into that first. So, imprinting. Imprinting is basically where we are putting information into our mind. These could be thoughts, this could be images. Imprinting could be beliefs. There are any contents in our mind. The simplest way to look at it is whatever we are bringing our attention to can imprint into our mind, and it does. Whatever we bring our attention to. There are two ways that imprinting really happens, because our attention is constantly happening. But imprinting happens in two ways. The first way is through repetition. So that means whatever it is that we bring our attention to constantly, repetitively, whether it's a certain action, a certain place, a certain person, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Whatever we are constantly bringing our attention to is what we are imprinting into our mind. Whatever is in our mind is what we are bringing our attention to. It's where our energy goes, and therefore it's what we create. So if somebody goes, I don't like my life right now, I don't like the outcome of it. Well, the reason that is because that person has been bringing their attention to the things that they don't want. So therefore, their life right now are things that they don't want. And so if we want to create a life that we want, then we want to bring our attention to the things that we want. So repetition is the first thing. The second way that we imprint into our mind is through an elevated emotion, elevated energy. If, let's say, we are experiencing this event, but this event we feel very, very emotional. This event we have a lot of energy. Then this event, the people in this event, what happened are, and everything about this event will be imprinted into our mind. This event could create certain beliefs in our head about ourselves, about certain people, about life. Every aspect of this event will now be imprinted. This is how we got imprinted as children. Certain events that happened, we felt very, very emotional. Or we experienced certain events over and over and over. And therefore, they got imprinted into our mind. This is the basis of imprinting. And it's very important to remember that. No matter what's going on right now in our life, if it is not what we want, we need to see where we are bringing our attention to. Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of you are bringing your attention to things that you do not want. Some people might go, well, I am paying attention to what I want and I'm not getting it. My answer is no, you're not. You may not be aware of where your attention is going. This is a universal law. It's not like maybe I am paying attention to what I want, but somehow I'm not getting it. No, that's it. You are paying attention to the things that you don't want. That is why it is in your life. So the first step is to understand this. The second is to connect the dots. Most people are not aware of what they actually bring their attention to. Most people think that they are bringing their attention to what they want, when a good chance is they are thinking about the things that they want. And the way that they are thinking about it is how they're not going to get it. How trying to get it is going to be a struggle. All of the problems that they're going to experience as they are going to try to get what they want. So then therefore, what are they paying attention to? Problems, struggles, challenges, all the hurdles. So then what happens? Exactly those things. They don't get what they want. If this is happening to you, take a look at what we're bringing our attention to. Because if we want to go ahead and imprint the right things in our mind, so this way we can create what we want, the first thing we want to do is we want to recognize what's in our mind. This way we can connect the dots on what we need to stop doing. And if a person wants to make a change, they have to first recognize that certain people, certain situations that we are giving our attention, therefore giving our energy to, is not aligned with what we want to create, what we want in our life. And once we recognize that, then we can start to make some changes. To recognize that involves being able to become more aware of what's in our head. We can actually see what we've been paying attention to, the specifics of it. Not just, I've been thinking about my goal. No, how have you been thinking about your goal? Have you been thinking about your goal in a perspective of, this goal is going to be really tough, and I don't know how I'm going to get there? Or are you thinking about your goal as in, this is what I need to do right now, and I'm going to keep doing this so I can accomplish that? If you think about the second thing and you're focusing on your action steps towards accomplishing something, then you'll find you're moving forward in your goal. If you keep looking at the goal and looking for all the struggles and all the reasons why it's going to be so tough, and why you need to be more prepared, why you need to learn more, why you need to know more, you're just pushing that goal farther away from you. So why aren't we getting this goal? Why aren't we getting closer to it? But as we start to slow down our mind, as our awareness starts to increase, which is simultaneously happening, when our mind starts to slow down, automatically our awareness increases. We have more attention because there's less moving parts that's there to distract us. Now we can see specifically what we are thinking about when it comes to accomplishing certain things. Without all this stuff, we have all the time in the world to go ahead and take action on what it is that we need to do. Suddenly we don't procrastinate anymore. So now we get to move forward. This is connecting the dots between how we can still our mind, focus on what we want, and by doing so, we actually end up taking more action.